Warning, this episode contains strong language or mature themes. Parental discretion is advised.
I always like to listen to music.
So do I.
I brought my tapes. I'll just accept it in. And now we push this button.
Welcome to This Podcast Is Uncalled For.
What's uncalled for about it?
What we doing in Tijuana? You met a girl, didn't you? I was like, oh, how did you know? He was like, oh, because it always happens. It always happens. It's the only stupid reason that you would ever drop the ROTC. Because of a stupid girl.
And then look, thank you, back home.
Oh, that's going to be great for the football charts.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I can think of 100 right off the top of my head.
Is paid a genre?
So it's just a lot happens behind the scene that people don't know about. Like it's hard for the average voter to understand how much of what they think is their democracy is decided by faceless people to them. You know, you and I know who's making these decisions.
There you go. These are the kind of discussions we have. Fortunately, we're both fairly level-headed people. Again, we're looking at each other in the eye. We're not going to say anything derogatory to the other person. And, of course, neither of us is drunk.
Take me to Gay's barbecue.
That's a bit of a slap in the face and an insult.
But you didn't even give him a chance for a wild card spot.
And the look on Mike's face.
They love big boys like you.
It's kind of like, what is that character from Guardians of the Galaxy who takes everything literally? The people are out there, like they could have taken it literally.
Yeah, we're crazy people and we love what we do, and so we just keep creating regardless of how hard it can be sometimes.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on your podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
And remember, know you.
That is uncalled for, Michael.
And now, your host for this podcast, Mike Chernevsky.
I have a lot more on this tape. Here. Listen to this.
Well, the name of this podcast is Stuff Uncalled For?
This podcast is uncalled for.
Podcast, all right. Well,
And all y'all, subscribe and like and comment and subscribe.
Yeah.
I said it. Fuji.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 100th episode of This Podcast Is Uncalled For.
Let's go! Woo! Mazel!
Yeah. I'm here with Braden, of course, and joining us in here as well is the interviewee from our most downloaded interview podcast.
Anxious for this one.
Yes. Yes, I feel the podcast is a success strictly because of me and the 1 hour we put in during pandemic. So, yes.
Brian Boye, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, let's start. We do have a voicemail account.
Okay.
Right? That's our Google Voice.
Yes.
You can reach us for a future episode. Area code 816-832-5160.
Want to ask any questions? Just get to know, if you're new in town and want to get to know the area a little bit, or if you just want to, I don't know, vent, maybe?
Yeah.
Some?
Can you, call and ask for directions?
You could.
You very much could.
I'm stuck on Independence Avenue. How do I get out of here? And then, a week and a half later when the podcast drops.
Okay, you're talking to an Uber driver in his off time, so let me give you this.
Oh, boy. So, let's listen to, we did receive a few voicemails, so let's listen to them, see if they have anything insightful to say, if they have any questions for us.
See if it's my mother on a couple drinks or not.
Right, okay. All right, so here's the first one.
Yeah, as a white American straight woman, I'm just wondering why I don't have a special day or a special holiday or a special month. We seem to have all of these for the gays,
the transsexuals, the blacks, the Asians. They have all these special holidays and days and months and whatever, as we're supposed to be a culturally diverse nation. However, a typical white American woman that's straight, she doesn't have a day. So, yeah, that's my concern. Thank you.
Didn't we just have an International Women's Day just last week?
I actually, I think it was a month. Yeah,
the whole
whole month.
Right.
So yeah, the month of March is International Women's Month, but pretty sure there's an International Women's Day that was March
8th, correct? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So.
But either way, we still just call it International Women's Month, pretty much, right?
Yeah, and all women, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you are in the world. Yeah. So.
But white women had their time.
Is it? I mean, can we designate like International Karen Month, or like
we should have a Karen Day?
We should take it away from the blacks. We should just give white women February.
Honestly, can we give them July? Maybe I will humbly switch July for February.
They don't like July because of the fireworks. Right, it starts like a week before the 4th of July, and they like to complain about that because it scares their dogs. And then, like on July 6th, when the kids are still setting off the bottle rockets and Roman candles in their neighborhood, they're like, "The 4th is over. Why are we still doing this?" So they don't. So
there's got to be some corner.
Neighborhood ladies don't like July.
Don't like July. So maybe a colder month.
Well, yeah, but okay. So let's work backwards. You've got December, so then you're flirting with Christmas. You don't want to step on the Jesus.
You don't. They're already going to be. They're Karens are already fighting off at Walmart as we speak.
Planning Thanksgiving feasts for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Let's give them October. Because they generally they don't like. They either are bought in for Halloween or they are like, "Don't knock on my door. My light is not out."
Which, honestly, that's a very easy decision. Like, honestly, a whole tarp goes over my house when it's Halloween.
Right.
Like, a whole tarp. Like, my house is getting fumigated. Don't nobody come within feet of
And
my
then somebody's
place.
like, "Oh, is this a haunted house?" No.
No.
It's toxic.
It's a toxic. It's a toxic house.
Right.
Ma'am, we hear your concern. We appreciate it. But you got March. That's what you get. You get March.
You get March.
Right.
That's about it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Next voicemail,
For
rather.
the banger. Seriously.
Yeah, coming out hot, Mike.
I swear to God.
Do you sift through these before you bring them on, or like are we just kind of all cold?
These are what are available to us.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yeah. Hi. I had a thought. There's no such thing as indigenous people of the Americas, North or South America, that they were all immigrants. Everybody that's come here has been immigrants. So being that there's no indigenous people of this, of either continent, I'd like to say that we quit saying Native Americans, that there's no such thing as Native Americans and there's no such thing as indigenous Americans, that we are all immigrants. And that the Native Americans, so-called Native Americans, are actually Asian immigrants that were just here slightly before the Europeans. And that's my thought. Thanks, bye.
Okay, congratulations on offending a significant portion of our population. By the way, where we're sitting right now, our congresswoman is Native American. So.
Exactly. Well, okay, all right. So if you're going to go down the rabbit hole of like word meanings and where we're all from, colloquially it's accepted. Like there are some things that maybe aren't grammatically or technically true, but has generally come colloquially to be understood.
But technicalities shouldn't outweigh like certain, like certain just basic human decency.
Right. And I can see where he's coming from. Yes, in terms of DNA, and but we're
Yeah,
talking about
we all-
hundreds of thousands of years ago. We're talking about too, and
I mean, if you're going to define indigenous, thank you, dictionary.com, relating to or being people who are the original, earliest known inhabitants of the region. So if we're going to argue Cro-Magnon man was a part of the super continent that over millions and millions of years split apart into what we now know as North America, sure, we're all from another place.
Yes.
Right.
Congrats, you got it. You nailed it, buddy.
Exactly, literally. But
this is going to be your last podcast, by the way. I'm going to offend all
at
of your
least we
listeners.
made it to 100.
Yeah, we made it there. We put it to the ground.
We'll just revamp it. It'll be like every restaurant around town. We'll just revamp it.
Nah, it'll be good. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Now, and culturally speaking, yes, and the part of the theory is they came from Asia and everything, but culturally speaking, Native Americans vastly different from Asians. So, got to think about that too, you know.
And then my view on the whole thing as like just the youngest in the room, like, why are we still fighting over this bullshit?
I know.
Why are we still fighting over it? I mean, the way I see it, we're all, no matter where we came from, we're all on the same rock together, so we might as well just get the hell along, put up with each other.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So.
It ain't like we're going anywhere else.
That's right.
Elon hasn't made those plans yet.
Ooh.
That's right.
Yet.
Yeah. Stop horsing around on Twitter and do that.
Exactly. Well, the former president says in his next administration we're going to have flying cars. So
I've needed my flying car since the second Fantastic Four movie. I've needed my flying car.
Are we talking like, technically it's the third Fantastic Four movie because Harvey Korman produced the Fantastic Four movie in the 1980s. So with Jessica Alba and Captain America, that's technically Fantastic Four 2 and 3. So when's the celebration for Harvey Korman? Or Roger Corman, or all the Cormans. Roger Corman, the filmmaker. Harvey Korman, the comedic genius from the Carol Burnett Show. When's Carol Burnett Appreciation Week? Every week is Carol Burnett Appreciation Week. It should be. God bless you, Tim Conway. Who Mike kind of looks like? Mike's like a tall Tim Conway.
I can honestly see that. Yeah.
Can you get the little dwarf pants?
My knees probably went to.
Oh, you are really old, so.
Well, I'm 44.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I ain't that old.
All right, we got one more.
I'm excited to see where this takes us.
I know.
It's a magical journey.
Let's see. Let's see who else we can offend on the next one.
Magic school bus on audio form. Like, where's Mrs. Fripple going to take us today?
All right.
Down on the offensive school bus.
All right, here we go.
The podcast was fantastic. Thanks for sharing it.
All right.
Thank you.
Genuine compliments?
Yes. Yeah.
What is this world coming to?
I know.
Thank you, Susan, for the compliments. You know, that means a lot. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. Your hard work's paying off.
You have ones of fans, Michael. Congratulations.
All we need is the one. You just need one chip and poker.
Who just downloads a whole bunch of times through different platforms to keep those numbers up. Like and subscribe.
That's right.
Make sure to leave a comment and a review.
And a voicemail. Maybe one that preferably doesn't offend the whole group of people.
Exactly.
Do you have sponsored content yet?
No, I do not.
You don't have Stamps.com has not reached out?
No.
The trim your pubes razor, do you have that one?
If we bring back those voicemails, Spike TV might come back with
I'm
interest.
a fan of Spike. I actually
enjoyed Spike. My personal favorite was Blue Mountain State. Me and my buddies watched that all throughout high school.
The dirty Friday Night Lights?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Mm-hmm. The one that was so obnoxiously over the top, like nobody could believe it.
All right. So, now that's it for the voicemails. Once again, if you want to do a voicemail, call Call us up, 816-832-5160.
Again, that's 816-832-5160.
Yeah.
Just filling up time. You could have very obviously rewinded that, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a back button on the platform. Just hit the reverse 15.
Yeah.
Here, how about this? We'll try it this way.
Okay.
Hey, girl, you look lovely today. Now hit that reverse 15 and hear it again. All you need, girl, until you can believe it, you're amazing. Now rewind it and hear it again until you believe it.
You'll probably have to hit it twice at this point, girl.
Oh, man.
Hey, bro, you're looking swole, bro. Good job on the lifting, bro. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you and all that you have accomplished through all the obstacles in your way. You made it, bro. Good job. Now rewind it and listen to it until you believe it.
So true.
See, it's a new direction. The uncalled for podcast, now a little called for. Maybe needs it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
We can't always be complaining about the St. Louis Rams owner or all the things that Mike hates. Let's turn it into the things that Mike likes. Mike, what are the things that you like?
Well, I like...
complaining about the Rams.
That too.
Chess. You like chess?
Well, I teach it professionally, yes.
You like board games?
I do like board games. I like making movies, and the heart of this podcast, I like talking with my friends.
Look at that. Conversation.
Conversation.
Yeah.
Promoting arts around the city, helping other artists get their foot off the ground.
Yep. And Brian, since you are a return guest, is there some words of wisdom from you?
Gosh, wow. Now you put me on the spot. I was just preparing to launch bombs at people that want their own month. Congratulations, Mike. Did I think that we would make 100 episodes? No, I did not. Am I proud of you because you did? Yeah, Mike, I'm really proud of you. Congratulations, you persevered. Now, rewind it. Listen to it until you believe it, Michael. You have accomplished a thing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, I used to tell Mike back in the day when his films were abjectly terrible, I would be like, hey, you finished. Good job. You learned something along the way, and now we can apply those lessons to the next film that you work on.
That's honestly what my producer told me when he was looking at my first album. Like, hey, you made something.
We pressed record, and it is music.
Exactly.
It's not great music, maybe just
May
yet.
not be great.
Maybe never will be, but
To
you
me,
made it. You birthed a thing from your soul, and that's like the heart of creatives, right? So we have like 3 different types of creatives.
Exactly.
Right? So we're all birthing things. And I don't think... I get into this argument with my wife all the time. Can I go on a tangent? May I?
Go ahead.
So my wife is a chemist. She is brilliantly like number smart, right? X's and O's and lab coats and things like that. She can put together a spreadsheet and knock those things out, and she is numbers. And I'm like, I could never do what you do. And she's like, I could never do what you do. And I was like, why? Just write a poem. Like, just write a poem. Just write a haiku. 575. Just write a haiku. I wouldn't even know what to write it about. Write a haiku about this cup that I got at that really slow restaurant that I got. So let's write a haiku about a slow rap restaurant that I will not mention because they don't deserve my plug on this very downloaded episode of Uncalled For. But let's write a poem. And my wife was like, I could never do that. And I was like, okay, so like I make a 30-second commercial out of nothing. Like I have an idea and I birth it from my brain and I tell my team, let's do this and this and this, and then it turns into a thing out of nothing. And I was like, the great thing about being creators is that we can start with the very basic of an idea and turn it into 100 episodes or a feature film or a song or a whole album of songs or a concept album that's a rock opera. Like that's the great thing about being creators is because like it can literally come from like one random off color remark that somebody says or just the beginning of an idea or just like one little throwaway joke that somebody makes in the middle of a 100th episode podcast where somebody's like, holy cow, I should totally do that. Like that's where the origin of Famous Last Words was I had my story. And then I was just like, I think it's time. Like I watched one of Dave Barry's films at Film Fest, and I was like, you know what? It's time for me to tell my story. And like, boop, and then like, 4 long years later, I had a movie.
Yep.
All you needed was a little seed, and then you just kept growing at it. Growing at it.
Yeah. So we mentioned Dave, and Dave has been mentioned quite a bit on this podcast. Dave, we still miss you to this day. And I would be remiss if I didn't bring up another recent passing, that of our good friend Don Foote. Mm-hmm. So Don, we miss you, and we're thinking about you.
I was able to go to his celebration of life, which was actually really fun because like he had so many different stages of his life. Like he had his Red Cross FEMA era, he had his like zoo tour guide era, he had his film work obviously, and so it was really nice to see like all those people from all those different parts of his life kind of come together. And then like they had his old headshots and his old they had like a computer with his last active script that he was working on, so it was really cool. And then to get together to see some of like the old timers from the IFC, that was really fun too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to go, but I had to work. So.
Yeah.
Doing chess stuff. Yeah. All right. So the next thing I wanted to do, let's do some trivia based on the podcasts. See how well you guys know the podcast.
Is it Braden versus Brian?
It is.
Okay, game on.
Okay.
And we'll go first to, let's make it reasonable 10.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to fail at this so poorly.
Hey, I might be just as bad at this, so we'll see.
All right.
It's on the board.
It's on the board. Okay.
Braden versus Brian.
So for our first question, what inspired the name of our podcast?
Some nerdy contest with your high school friends. That's close. I'm
gonna
close.
get some off-color remark of sorts.
What's Braden?
No! Oh gosh, I forget where the library.
Yeah, we're in a library, and it was an offhand comment about this shirt that I'm wearing.
The Duke hoodie.
The Duke hoodie. That sweatshirt is uncalled for.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, because I told you that.
I knew that.
Hey, John. Okay. Fill in the blank. This one. Is bleep a genre?
My brain immediately goes to music, but shoot, there's so many routes I can go.
Anime. Is anime a genre?
Incorrect. What's right?
Is... Dang. This is so... Oh, okay. Dude, I assume we can't ask for hints.
No.
What? No!
I thought I just asked. I thought I just asked. That's why I asked.
That's why I asked.
Okay, then, Is grunge a genre?
Also incorrect.
Yeah.
The correct answer is paid a genre.
Is paid a genre.
Yeah. That was courtesy of a certain current IFC board member.
Okay, all right.
The name of Jamie Morrow.
Okay, all right. I did, and I listened to her episode too.
Yeah, she actually has it. Is paid a genre?
Paid a genre. Oh, I knew that one.
I just listened to that one last night too.
Yeah. Next one. What were you doing in blank?
My mom's bedroom. What?
Is that a joke answer? What were you doing in blank? And your parents took you to blank?
What were you doing in bed?
It's not bad. Is that going to be your answer, Brian?
I have no idea.
What were you doing, Tijuana? That's from Luke and Dan's first episode.
Have you been to Tijuana?
I have not. That was actually Dan asking Luke about that. Luke had mentioned that he was going to Tijuana, and all right. Next one.
You don't have these written down. You're just literally like spitballing.
No, I have it written down in a PowerPoint.
In a mental portfolio.
No, in PowerPoint. I just have not been able to. I'm not able to open it right now for some reason.
Okay. All right.
So,
Okay.
All right. Oh my gosh! I gotta hurry up. Oh my gosh! I gotta hurry up. Oh my gosh! I gotta hurry up. Why is my blank wet?
Why is my butt wet?
Oh boy. Why is my
blank wet?
Why is my phone wet?
Why is my hand wet?
Why is my hand wet?
And that's one of the episodes you wanted to beat out, Sam did.
Was that a Trevor or a?
It was Trevor.
Trevor Martin. Trevor and I actually we ran into each other at the Don Foot thing.
Okay.
We might wrestle this summer. Singlets and everything.
Not just wrestle, wrestle.
Wrestling, yeah.
Wrestling.
He's got me at the 7-1 favorite. If you want to get on the early betting line. I went to state, so I've got an advantage. Aside from the fact that I work out, he does not.
All right. We're looking at each other in the eye. We're not saying anything derogatory about the other person. Of course, neither of us is blank.
Sober.
Repeat it real quick. I didn't
We're
catch the
looking
last
at
part.
each other in the eye. We're not saying anything derogatory to the other person. And of course, neither of us is blank.
Neither of us is drunk.
Neither of us is drunk.
I was so close! You're gonna give him that on a technicality, even though I technically buzzed in? Oh my god.
But you said sober, which is the opposite of drunk. That was from the Chris Hertz episode, the first one. Okay, so enough with quotes. When she was on the podcast, Jessica Whitfield mentioned that she has a very interesting day job. What is it?
Dang it.
I'll give it a hint. It does make good use of her acting skills.
It's not like a no. Because I would have remembered if she's.
Oh.
Dang it.
This is
You
good
like
audio.
it too? Yeah, this is very good.
Yeah.
I should have brought my ukulele in here and played background. I figured it out. It helps her with her acting career.
Yes. Helps with acting.
She is an adult phone line operator.
Incorrect.
She
That'd be very funny though.
She would never, Jessica, you're a lovely lady. I love you.
That's pretty funny though. So.
I was about to say like some party princess type deal, but she seems way too professional for that.
I think she does that actually, but that's not the answer I was looking for. So I'll give you a half a point for it.
Okay.
You're playing favorites with the co-host. We go back decades, Michael.
I know. The answer is standardized patience.
Standardized patience.
I almost thought that. I didn't know you could do that full time.
Wait, you can do that full time?
Apparently,
or part-time or
between
something.
acting gigs.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Makes
almost said
makes
that.
good use of her acting abilities.
I almost said that.
That really is a hard acting skill, though. Sitting in still form. Oh.
Yeah. I agree. All right.
Hats off to you, Jessica.
Yeah, absolutely. question will be, I had a game designer, Adam Sadiq, on the podcast early on. He was on promoting a game he was designing. True or false? We later played that game on the podcast.
True?
True.
Yeah! Jumped in on that because it was 50-50. I'm on the board!
You're on the board. Yeah.
He did play a smarter move on that.
The game's called That's a Wrap. And that's our next question. That's a Wrap is a card game based around what?
Filmmaking.
Filmmaking.
Oh, coming in hot. Coming in hot.
right.
You just get that crappy half point out of there. Rolling now. Okay. All right. Context clues.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of my hatred of all things Stan Kroenke right now, I actually one of my favorite interviews that did not involve Brian was I interviewed a fan of Arsenal Football Club. Now, where was this fan located when we did our interview?
Where was the interviewee?
Yes. I'll give you a hint. It's a European city.
So I can't say overseas. I was about to say overseas and just generalize, but
I'll give you another hint. Not London.
Is he in Birmingham?
Not Birmingham. Dang it.
Is it based in the UK?
It is not.
Rome! I'm going to say Rome.
Also incorrect. Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Dang it. They're always in Amsterdam.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a fun time. All right.
Amsterdam, my baby.
All right. This one's going to be a bit of a tough one, but
okay.
Is there math involved?
Let's put it this way. When I started the podcast, I approached 8 people to do the podcast. And all 8 of my initial asks have done the podcast. 1 point if we can get at least 1 right.
Of the original 8 asks?
Yeah.
Pat Lamb.
Pat Lamb.
There's a new leader. Are we keeping going? Are we naming more?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, try and name all 8 if we can. So Pat Lamb, of course, first episode.
Oh, Caroline Boehner.
No, sorry, not Caroline, but she is on the podcast.
I don't remember the names of all your high school bros because that was like the first. That was like the first 10 episodes.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. They span over the first 2 seasons. So, but yeah, Pat would be number 1.
Carl Fletcher?
Carl Fletcher's not been on the podcast yet, so, but
damn.
But that's.
I thought you said one of those guys.
Yeah,
one of those guys who.
So for our audience, we have a list of our upcoming schedule on the board here, as well as we're working on it, and Carl's in the we're working on it category.
Yeah. So that was a sneak peek, involuntary.
Yeah.
Adam Archuleta.
I wish I knew him, but yeah.
Didn't you have an Archuleta episode though? Didn't you tell that saga?
The story of Adam Archuleta?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those who aren't familiar with Adam Archuleta, he played. He was a safety drafted by the Rams in St. Louis, and wound up being a journeyman safety, and one of those stops was Washington. Before they changed their name, of course. In Washington, you may have heard of this guy, Tony Kornheiser. He has a radio show in D.C., and during that season, the Washington Football Club blamed Archuleta for their team not doing very well that year. And Mr. Tony's listeners turned that to Adam Archuleta to be blamed for everything.
That's right.
The greenhouse effect, the federal deficit, Sanjaya remaining on American Idol. All right. So, okay, we got Brian the point. So he did get Pat Lamb. The others were Trevor Martin.
I was gonna. Oh, I thought it.
Yeah.
And this is in order. I'm just listing them in order of release. Tim Crippen, Chris Hertz, Matt Sewell. That's one high school guy.
Oh yeah, that was
Mark Parton, Luke, not Dan, but Luke I asked first, and they brought Dan on board later.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Rainey is the last one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Tim, Luke, and Dan, they all have something in common. We used to be co-workers together. Name the company we worked for. I'll give you hints. We are just down the street from where our old warehouse was.
Oriental Trading.
No.
I think it had something. Like, this is the point where I'm getting your day job and your hobbies confused, because I think you said something about you taught chess, but that was like
They're not chess people.
Not chess people. Okay, not chess people. So that makes it significantly harder.
I just want to Google all this stuff, but I can't.
And I know most of these, but like, I'm such an idiot.
The rich internet history of Mike Chernetsky. Pages and pages.
Right.
You organically search that if you can figure out how to spell. What's right there?
Yeah.
So you were in a warehouse. It was
yes.
Sports manufacturing.
Silpata Designs.
Oh, I knew that too.
Yeah. And they did sterling silver jewelry parties.
So it was like tchotchkes.
So it's like so it's like Tupperware parties, but with sterling silver jewelry.
Oh, so you were the plug for the tea party, pretty much.
I did mostly warehouse stalking when I was with them. Luke and Dan were the forklift drivers, and Tim did building maintenance.
I cannot believe I forgot that too. I am shocked how much of this I actually remember after being told what it is.
Yeah, you have to be.
So I don't really remember it as much as I recall when I'm told exactly what it is.
Since you brought Caroline into this, what do you think we were doing before we did our interview together? She actually mentioned it in the podcast. Nothing dirty, by the way.
Yeah,
I would never. I would never assume.
Another hint, it was at a park.
Did you have dinner in the park?
No. Wasn't dinner.
I mean, I don't know the answer to this, but
You could guess.
I secretly hope it's like at the end of Napoleon Dynamite where they're just playing, just hitting that ball around, and Mike is.
I'll give Brian the points. We were kicking a soccer ball around.
Oh! What is that called? The ball on the string on
tether ball.
Yeah. And then like he hits it.
You're just bruising a different part of your body.
So
same thing.
So when I had Conrado on the podcast, a chess person, by the way, we drove by what's bar that prompted the famous Conrado quotes, and the dog takes you back home.
I have no idea.
I come from a family of drinkers. I should know this.
I mean, you look it. I mean, I can see it in your eyes.
Oh, yeah. You can tell by my eyes, the frizzy hair. Yeah, exactly.
I will give you a hint on this one. It is located on the riverfront.
Chicken and pickle.
No.
It's on the riverfront. Not the. I'm like trying to figure out which bars were on the riverfront. It's not the Bristol, is it?
It is Bark or Bar K.
After I said chicken and pickle, I thought Bark.
Why did I forget about the most obvious fucking one? Bark.
Bark? I did not think that I would be this hyped up over this game of podcast trivia.
Right.
It was fully my intention to get Mike all riled up today. So I was walking in here, I was coming up with
I
ways
didn't
to
come
get
in here planning on feeling so stupid, Mike. Come on.
I appreciate that. Braden, we're going to start our own podcast.
Right. This one is called for.
We're going to get celebrities to say Braden, Brian, Braden, Braden. Like Oprah Uma.
Right. Okay, celebrities. What famous actor was a senior in high school during my freshman year at the same high school?
Jason Sudeikis.
I was trying to remember if it was Sudeikis or Keckner.
No, Sudeikis.
And didn't you say Ted Lasso was based off of your...
Donnie Campbell.
Donnie Campbell, your geometry teacher.
Geometry teacher who was also the basketball coach.
You know, strangely enough, the closest thing I've had to that sort of fame in school was my middle school. My 7th grade science teacher, her daughter was the voice of, she played the mom on the newer Willy Wonka and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. She played the mother of Veruca Salt.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And that woman also voiced Tigress on the Kung Fu Panda series on Nickelodeon.
Now, my high school graduated a second very famous actor.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
At the same one?
Yeah, Rudd was class of '87.
I gotta say, my favorite Rudd, his sister Mandy. She's a delight. Mandy Rudd is even cooler than Paul Rudd, with no Marvel credits. Yeah, she's amazing.
Oh. Yeah.
Shout out to Mandy. She's a big fan, I hear.
Oh, really?
we text.
Okay.
Did you hear the pod this week? He told us an awesome story about Stan Kroenke and how angry he is at him.
Yeah, he can go to hell. He's not. He's not the only person who can go to hell. This might be a little bit above your pay grade, but there's.
You're getting paid? Am I getting paid?
You get paid with the
time. When I ran for state senate and later city council, it was against one guy who people would like to think he's progressive, but he really is not. See if you can name him. By the way, this particular person will also never be on this podcast. So.
Oh, I remember he was super douchey, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Douchey politician.
Mm-hmm.
That's not specific.
Not gonna limit. That's not gonna narrow it down.
Yeah,
No, it's not going to narrow it down at all. But in this particular case, it's a special level of douchebaggery.
I will never come
There's
up
only
with
one special level of douchebaggery in my book, and that was
Yeah.
Shockingly enough, I don't pay attention to local races in Kansas as a Lee's Summit resident, but you know, I will never come up with that name. I remember seeing him and thinking that guy's a douche.
Yeah. Logan Healy.
Oh, his name was even douchey.
Yeah.
Oh.
even named after a shitty shoe.
So, no, Logan, you will not be on this podcast.
Uninvited.
Ever.
His appearance on this podcast is uncalled for.
Closed.
See what I did? See what I did
Yeah.
there? Brought it all back around.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian's episode worth listening to just for that. She gets bring it back to the name of the podcast and everything. And it's clever. It's clever. Okay. All right.
Is trivia over?
I got one more question I can think of.
Okay, bring it.
So on this, continuing on the subject of famous people or even quasi-famous people I went to high school with, I had the drummer of what band on the podcast?
Black Crowes.
No.
Dang it, no.
One of those hipster Lawrence bands, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And they had like one song that everybody really liked, right?
One song they were probably most famous for. Because it was on the radio all the time.
Played it on the buzz.
Yeah. Now this is the drummer I'm talking about. I knew the other guys. In fact, their singer was in Campbell's class with me. So.
Can you tell me the name of the song?
Girl Roommate.
Oh, that's right. Oh. It's a two-name something. Da, da, da. Oh.
They had two names. So.
They had two separate names, or they had two words in their name?
No, they had two separate names.
Oh, so you got double chances, buddy.
Yeah.
My roommate's a girl. That's how the song went.
Yeah.
Oh, do I get a half point for that?
Yeah, I'll give you a half point for that. Okay. The original name was Thulium.
No, and I didn't know that.
But the name they're probably best known for, Anything But Joey.
Anything But Joey.
Yeah.
Catchy song.
Yeah. All right, so well, it's true there. 5.5 for Brian, 3.5 for Braden.
Congratulations. Well played, sir. Well played, sir.
Well played.
Well played.
Not bad. All right.
That trivia contest called for.
Definitely called for.
Appropriate for episode 100. Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's the one thing that was called for on the podcast so far.
It took us 100 episodes. We found something that was called for.
Yes.
Yeah. Mazel. It's a blessing.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, closing thoughts.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's very exciting that I got onto here.
Yeah.
It's very exciting that we've got such a big base. I'm excited to really set the pace of this new part of the journey for the show.
That's right.
Help out any way I can. I'm ready to be along for the ride, bud. Here's to 100 more.
Amen to that. 100 more. All right. Brian.
Michael, Thomas, Chernesky. I don't even
Benjamin.
know. It's Thomas now. We've changed it. I'm really proud of you, dude. I have seen you come so far over the decade and a half that we have known each other. Mm-hmm. I'm really proud of you. And I don't think dudes give their bros enough props. And I'm giving you all the props, dude. Congratulations. You have done a thing successfully, maybe, for 100 episodes. Mm-hmm. Hey, congratulations. You did a thing. What'd you learn? What'd you learn, Mike?
Well, the entire point of the podcast was self-exploration and to do it with my friends. And I feel I do know myself a little better, and I know my friends a little better, the ones that have been on the podcast. And I look forward to doing the next 200. Mm-hmm. And, go from there. Try to build on what we've done so far. Hopefully, actually pull off a Fringe Festival show, which will not happen this year because I did not submit for this year. That in particular has been interesting, to put it mildly. I mean, we tried to do it in 2020. This pandemic stuff happens, and we have to do it virtual.
Old pan pizza, yeah.
2021, more of the same. And then in 2022, the people I live with decide to get COVID, and we're forced to do virtual. And the payout just wasn't enough to justify trying to do it again this year. But we'll see about next year.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's issue a challenge for the next 100 episodes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I would like to see at least one C-list celebrity on the podcast. You've got connections.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can pull that off.
Should we get Red's sister?
Maybe. She's a delight. I don't know. Let's see if I can call that in.
All right. All right. Yeah, I'd actually given thought to approaching the Big Slick about doing this, and that'd qualify, right? So, well, we've had some famous people. Depends on the genre, of course, but Bill Butts has been on the podcast.
Okay,
you know?
legit.
Yeah.
So somewhere in between drummer from Anything But Joey,
whom I've known since I was 8, by the way.
anime super voice Bill Butts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somewhere between Jeff Blazek and Bill Butts. Yeah, I think we can handle it.
You can get somewhere around there.
And somebody better than Trevor Martin. Like,
oh, come on. Trevor's a good dude.
that little leprechaun of a man, I swear. I can't. We're wrestling. I said that right. Did I say that on the podcast?
Yes,
We're
you
wrestling
did.
this summer?
You did.
How do I get into DraftKings with like a summer schoolyard wrestling fight? How do you get a thing in DraftKings?
I think you have to go to the off-grid.
Yeah.
Oh, black market gambling?
Yeah.
Do you know any black
You have to go
market
to the
gamblers?
off-grid DraftKings.
How do you not know black market gamblers? You've been a degenerate for years. How do you not have a guy?
I just don't.
You don't even have a guy who's aware.
Can you bet on chess? Can you bet on local chess matches? Can you bet on like kids' chess matches? Can you set something up? You were like, hey, I got this.
You better not.
Nintendo Switch Lite, if you can throw this match, kid.
You better not. At least not with me
Okay,
around.
you can't. But could you hey, check out Jaden. He's pretty good, and he's taking on a kid who's a little nervous. Could we do that?
I would highly discourage it, but in theory, you could do something like that.
Okay, so we go to some chess thing. We're like, hey, bro, you need some action? Like, I got Alicia at a +3. You got some of that? Just to see the reaction. Oh my gosh!
Besides, we're doing this at a time where there is a bit of a cheating scandal in chess.
Even better.
Perfect.
That makes it dangerous.
Which that episode will have come out by the time y'all are hearing this. But yeah,
You cheated? Oh no, is that the butt plug story?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you should have seen Braden's eyes just got so big.
Did I just hear that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So
It's what you think, or is it?
I did.
Stay
or
tuned.
is it? Or is
Or
it?
is it?
Yeah.
That's what you call a teaser. That teaser was called for.
Yep.
Wow.
That reverse teaser, because that episode will have already released by the time this releases.
So my teaser was uncalled for.
I'd say that. Coming back around, right? Coming back around again. All right.
Go back and listen to it. Replay it. Hit the reverse. Hit the back 15 second button.
Thoughts on cheating, Neiman edition is the episode.
Okay.
All right.
Brownie Fisher, where is he? We don't know. We don't know.
I hope that it's not like it's just academic about cheating and not going to get into the.
There's.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes when a mom and dad love each other very much and dad needs some help playing chess, she puts a device.
That's a talk for the kids, maybe.
In his possession.
This is something they need to hear about from the parents.
It's okay. Listen, everybody, don't yuck anybody's
kids are going to get curious about the chess set around the house.
Don't yuck anybody's yum,
Hey.
but also don't cheat at chess.
Yes.
Unless Brian's got money writing on it.
Don't cheat in general, bro. Cheating sucks.
Cheating bad.
Cheating bad, okay?
If you cheat, you are bad.
Good. And we all just in the Mr. Mackey.
How about 30 of the next 100 episodes are all done in Mr. Mackey voice?
That would be a challenge. That seems like something we'd lose a bet over. Like if I lost, if I said the Chiefs were going to lose the Super Bowl, you would have made me like, dude, I'll come in like, hey guys, welcome to the podcast.
Let's localize it. Let's get Mike invested in it. If the St. Louis Battlehawks win the XFL championship, Mike has to do an entire episode talking like Mr. Mackey about how terrible Stan Kroenke is. And see if he can control... This is Duke Hoodie 2.0. Mackey, Kroenke, Steelhawk, Palooza.
Just let me get my acting chops in and play as many South Park characters off sides as I can.
Right.
Please. Please.
Hey, guy, tell me about those. Tell me about that football team, guy.
We have to make sure we're not hammered.
We do not say suck my balls.
Cat, you in? Take my bag.
I hate you guys.
Yeah, dear cat.
One of my teenagers is suddenly into South Park, and I was like, oh my gosh, have you seen the movie?
They never just gradually get into it.
No,
it's just sudden.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, and they're like, and then I had to explain how horrible it was to have the name Brian Boye when the song "What Would Brian Boitano Do" came out, because it was not easy. It was not pleasant.
At least you didn't get started off with Mr. Hanky.
The chicken wings. Chicken wing. Yeah.
Oh,
We had a really nice ending, and then it just like went off the rails.
Yeah.
That's how podcasts are supposed to go. They're supposed to go to the left and the right, all over the place.
That diversion was uncalled for.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the 100th episode of this podcast. Is uncalled for.
Congratulations,
Mike.
You have done a thing for 100 times.
Yeah. So, got to thank Brian for returning to the podcast, and of course Braden for your help and continued help.
My pleasure, bro.
Let's do 100 more.
To the next 100.
To the next 100. All right.
You're here.
And we'll talk to you next time.
Hi, Michael. I just wanted to say congratulations on your 100th episode of your podcast. It's Amanda from Top 10 Nerd here, and I think that's really cool and really awesome that you have made it to 100 episodes. I hope you continue to enjoy podcasting, and I hope that you continue to make it beyond even 100, 200, 1,000 even. I believe in you. I also love the name. This podcast is uncalled for. A very, very cool name. I might even have to check it out myself, so I will keep an eye on that, and I hope you continue to enjoy all of your interviews and your explorations and reflections on life. It's a really awesome thing. All right, congratulations, Michael, to many, many more episodes of your podcast.
This podcast is Uncalled For is hosted, produced and edited by Mike Chernevsky. Opening music is I Thought You Were Cool by Holy Yesna CC0, licensed under a Creative Commons 0.1.0 Universal License. The outro music for this episode is Starting Over, courtesy of freestockmusic.com. Additional music includes Secret of Tiki Island by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. And Morocco Sting by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Amanda McKnight courtesy of Cameo.com. The co-host for the podcast is Braden Shryock. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting platform. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/uncalledforpodcast, and check out our blog with show notes at uncalledfor.home.blog. If you are in the United States or Canada, you can call us at 816-832-5160. Leave your message or question for us, and if we like it, we will play it on the podcast. Please support the podcast and purchase our exclusive Uncalled For merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and so much more. Go to www.cafepress.com/uncalledforpod. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.